Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. I need to apologize to each and every one of you because I know it is becoming harder and harder for you guys to watch my videos due to the fact that this particular platform doesn't like me saying certain things. So I need to, to some of those words in order for me to be able to monetize the video and earn an income from doing this sort of stuff. Now, people that say, oh, it's all about money for you, Jay, and all that sort of stuff. Well, I put in a lot of hard work into my videos. And yes, I do deserve to be paid for the work that I do because this kind of stuff that I am reporting on and I am sharing, it does a number on your mental health, right? It does a number on your brain. So I'm doing the best that I possibly can. And I know that it's only a few people that have complained. I get it. I'm doing the very best that I possibly can with the cards that have been dealt with at the moment. So with all that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we currently live in a day and age in 2024 when you've got people that want to identify as being something they're actually not. That's one side of the equation, right? Now you've got the other side. The other side is a rather interesting one. Because you know that society is it's lost the plot when you've got individuals that are now choosing to identify as being animals. Now, we've known this for quite some time, but now it's starting to make actual headlines and waves in society. When the mainstream media is starting to pick up stories like this, we've got a problem. And when you've got J.K. Rowling actually saying, I already know all I want to know from reading the headline, which says, my daughter identifies as an animal. This is what I want you to know. This is from Mamma Mia, which I believe is an Australian news website, I think. So when you got individuals, young people that are choosing to identify as animals, hey, there's something to be said about that. But nevertheless, I'll let you guys read between the lines. So I don't think that this person, Emma, birthed a daughter. I think this person is a biological dude, but identifies as being a girl as well as now an animal. So the article is written as such. Obviously, Mamma Mia is a left-leaning news source. So I'm just going to read it as it is because my brain already hurts from reading the title. When Emma's daughter told her she identified as an animal, the mum was understandably surprised. I wondered if it was just a passing fad, something she had seen on social media and connected with. She told Mamma Mia, well, the likelihood of that actually being the case is quite high. Otherwise, how in the world would this person know that this person happens to be an animal? The animals told me, Mum. Mum, I'm not really a human. I'm actually an animal, Mum. And you know how I know that? The dog told me. Oh, sorry, no. Dogs are too good for this. The cat told me. I know I probably offended a lot of people by saying that, but anyway, I'm a dog person. But it was more than that. Emma's daughter explained to her mum that she's a therian, and she's just one of a growing number of children identifying this way. If you hadn't heard of the term therian, you're not the only one. Therians are a community of people who identify as a non-human animal species, either spiritually or psychologically. Now, when you say psychologically, you know we've got an issue just on that front because it's a psychological problem. If you've got a young person that identifies as being an animal, you want to be an animal, start living like an animal. We'll start treating you like an animal. Not this, I'm spiritually an animal. Psychologically speaking, I'm an animal. Well, mate, and while you might be thinking, oh, yep, I've heard of them, furries. No, you haven't, because they are two different things, evidently speaking. While furries have a strong interest in fictional animal characters with human traits, and often dress up as animals as an outlet for creativity, fandom, and social expression, therians view their animal identity, also known as stereotype, as part of their self-identity. How in the world is that any different to furry? Isn't furry okay? So furry is a fictional animal character, but therians, they're actually an animal. It's the same thing. Furries don't identify as an animal, but yet they act like an animal. So it's the I'm choosing to identify as one that is the difference here. Therians, they do identify, fairies, they don't. They are people who dress up like animals with human characteristics. A therian member of Mamma Mia community. There you have it, people. This is a massive community out there of these individuals. Therians identify as an animal spiritually and or mentally. So it's very, very deep. Therians don't typically choose which animal or stereotype they identify with. It usually comes through introspection, dreams, or just a strong sense of connection to a particular animal and their characteristics. Now, let me just stop there. I have some crazy dreams, right? I have some very vivid and lucid dreams. Just because I have a vivid and lucid dream does not mean that I carry that vivid and lucid dream over to reality. It's a dream. It remains a dream. It ain't real. It's made up. Your subconscious makes it up, right? But these people, they take it to the extra end of things. Oh, boy. They just have a strong sense of connection to a particular animal and their characteristics. So, yeah, I have a strong connection to my dog. Doesn't mean I'm going to go out tomorrow and start acting or identifying as a dog. That's how we know this is an actual mental health problem, psychologically speaking. For example, a therian who identifies as a wolf may feel strong instincts of loyalty, protectiveness, and a deep connection to nature. Oh, boy. How in the world is this news? There seems to have been an increase in or perhaps simply an increased awareness, particularly on social media and in schools, meaning more parents like Emma are navigating this identity expression with their children, which according to Carly Dober, Director, Australian Association of Psychologists, is totally normal. So this is normal, according to a psychologist? I wonder what's not normal. Childhood is all about identity formation, the psychologist told Mamma Mia. Children might be curious when they come across the term therian about what it means and try this identity on for size. No, that's not normal. I'll have you know. What's normal is a young kid going, therian, what's that about? You identify as an animal. Okay, that sounds weird. I'm not going to do that because, hey, I could have done the exact same thing as a kid, but I didn't. You have make-believe, you have creative avenues that you go outside in the real world and you play, and that's different to identifying and making your entire life out to suit like this particular therian thingamajiggy, whatever it is. Psychologists in Australia today, my goodness, the internet allows the subcultures to be shared more widely. And this is and this could be part of the influence that uptake in therian lifestyle, Dober explained. Children might be exposed to other children who identify as therians, which can influence them to try this lifestyle out. So you're actually admitting that it's a social Again, how else would the first child know what therian is if they're not looking it up on social media or someone hasn't told them what it actually is? When Emma's daughter told her mum she identifies as a therian, Emma said, even though it was all a bit unknown and strange to me, which is the genuine response, it is strange, don't go along with it, responded gently and understandably. to my own child that identifies now as being an animal. All right, love, you want to be an animal? I'll treat you like one. Her daughter broke down in tears during the conversation. She added, "Oh no. I think she had been keeping it to herself for a little while and she was worried what my reaction would be. Since the conversation, Emma has witnessed mostly positive outcomes of supporting her daughter's therian identity. I was worried it was somehow a mental problem or reaction to some other issue in her life," she said. "But as I've watched it unfold, I see it brings her great joy and also comfort, and it's an outlet for her too. So I am much less concerned. I keep a watchful eye in case this changes." So you actually are admitting that you know this is not true, but you're supporting your daughter's whatever version of reality your daughter's decided to make up because you're afraid. Oh boy, oh boy. Modern parenting, ladies and gentlemen. And as Dober explained, identifying as a therian is not a sign of a problem. Then what is it? Because it ain't normal. Generally speaking, exploring identity as a therian is healthy and normal. Good grief, I can't. Children can have a rich, well-adjusted, and socially expansive life as a therian. Okay. Emma does what she can to support her daughter, such as helping her source materials for human or animal masks. She has delved into the creative world of mask making, and she is incredibly talented. She also gets plenty of outdoor time and exercise. Well, I guess that's a little bit better than staying inside and playing video games all the time or being on social media. But hey, the various activities she does seem to be soothing for her and good for the soul. If it can be a support for her during the difficult teenage years as a sport or musical instrument, maybe for other kids, I will be happy. This is very different to playing sport or playing a musical instrument. Very different. Indeed, for many children, identifying as a therian might represent a way to cope with mental, social, and other challenges. All children, including those who explore therian identities, want to belong and to feel safe and connected, said Dober. I have no idea how in the world this Dober character got Dober's degree, but good grief. Some children, what person in their right mind, having studied psychology, goes, it's totally healthy and totally normal for a child to identify as a therian, an animal, no less. Let's go with that. Some children might elect to identify as a therian because they're getting or are escaping some pain in their lives, and this is a coping mechanism. Well, hey, if a child is in fact getting by a child, then actually help them. Like, you're a psychologist, aren't you? Help the child. There are so many ways in which you can help a child that is potentially getting in school. Oh no, we're just going to let the child become a therian, and like that's going to stop the bullying? I reckon that's only going to increase it. You got to look at the reasons as to why the child might be getting bullied in the first place. No, I can't do that. Just let the child explore, have their own coping mechanisms, and we won't intervene at all. But while identifying as a therian isn't inherently harmful, some psychologists and child development experts caution that it can become concerning if it leads to social isolation, obsessive behavior, or disassociation from reality. Hello? That's what it is. Anyway, for this reason, they say it's important for parents and caregivers to maintain an open and non-judgmental dialogue with their child and to encourage safe and balanced engagement with these communities. Help your child to develop critical thinking skills by discussing the differences between imagination, belief, and reality, Dober said. Well, by you going, it's healthy and normal to identify as something you're actually not, you've already created a problem for the child. You've already gone, okay, it's accepting. The child's gone, yep, okay, my mum has accepted this version of my own reality. So when the mum wants to actually talk about actual reality and actual imagination and actual belief, she can't, because the child has now got this preconceived idea that the mother is just going to accept whatever the child says. So well done, Doba. Great psychological skill set there. Encourage them to question and explore their thoughts and feelings. They're a kid. They're a kid. Let them be a kid, for one. And don't affirm anything that is outside of normal and reality. Teach children techniques to test reality, such as asking questions, seeking evidence, and considering different perspectives. Establish clear boundaries around behaviors and encourage your child to have a balanced approach to life that includes exploration of identity and encourage and engagement and other activities and responsibilities. For Emma's part, she is being careful to make sure her daughter's therian identity continues to bring her joy. And if she did notice it having a negative impact, well, here's what you do. We'd have to solve it together. And you can't just tell a kid to shut off a part of themselves. It would be challenging, and I hope it doesn't come to that point for us. But while we navigate it, we'll navigate it if it ends up coming to that point. Overall, having a therian in the family has changed the way the mum views identity and self-expression more broadly, confessing she is less judgmental and more open-minded these days. The world is a crazy place. We're all just trying to figure it out and work out who we are, she said. I am proud that she came to us and shared that information. It's a big positive for me, and I hope that never changes. There you have it. I mean, I didn't need to read out the entire article for you all, but I thought I would, because you have these psychologists that are out there that talk about certain things that they don't really have much business in talking about it. Just because they've got a psychological degree doesn't really mean that they know exactly what they're talking about, especially when it comes to nurturing and raising a good, healthy human. Like the whole identity that's happening at the moment is because of people like this. They want to affirm one's really delusional viewpoint of the world, and they don't give them a healthy dose of no. It's okay to say no to a child. They're a child. You're an adult. You may hurt their feelings, but they're a child. I don't even know how old this Emma's daughter really is. I don't even know if it's a girl or a guy. I don't, because that's how confusing this stuff can actually get. Trying to be respectful to one's pronouns, etc., etc. It just goes on and on and on. When does it stop? We are creating a society of rather unhealthy kids, rather weak-minded kids. And they all go, nah, it's okay to support and be happy of a child if they want to identify as whatever else. Next, they'll be identifying as the moon. I'm a planet. I'm Mars. I'm Venus. Well, I'm Uranus. Just kidding. Anyway, you guys take care. Be blessed, and I'll see you all in the next video.